Yeah, I was told that there's no way that Demetrious is going to accept the fight. They've offered him a lot of money, I was told, and that he just won't budge, and there's nothing he's going to do to take that fight. So there's no reason for me to cut to 125s. I mean, within 3 weeks, I was waking up at 140 pounds. You know, I was doing everything right. I was training my butt off and eating right, and it was exciting to see the transformation of my body that fast too. So it's definitely a possibility, but unfortunately he did not want to fight.
So is the plan now to wait for Cody to heal up?
Yes, the plan is now to wait for Garbrandt and get that belt.
Was there any thought of you just taking a more contender fight at 125, or is it just title or nothing?
I think first and foremost I wanted to fight for the belt. It was the right time for the Demetrious fight. I felt like as well, but it just didn't really work out.
Now that tough is over,
yeah.
I mean, you can really kind of talk about the filming and like all the things, the antics that happened throughout that. How much of really like just depleting was that on you?
It was emotionally draining. Yeah, I was definitely tired going to and from after coming home. It was exhausting 6 weeks, and I think no matter what, even just coaching guys for 6 weeks would have been exhausting. But just the drama added on top of it was a lot to deal with. A lot of true colors were shown, and ultimately, I'm glad I did it, but I didn't want to do the show. I didn't want to coach the show because of that reason, but I knew that was the way I was going to get my shot, was to coach Ultimate Fighter.
Now having to go back, but he's had the surgery, and then you have to go through this process all over again. I mean, what is that? How do you anticipate that going?
You just got to keep a smile on your face and just keep trucking. There's nothing I can really do about it. Just push for the goal, and goals for me to be on top.
What has been the reception like on the show? Because I think from a coaching standpoint, you look like you were doing your job, and it seemed like you came across really well on the show.
Yeah, from the fans and from what I've heard, yeah, it seems like it's come across very well. Like I said, I felt like some true colors have come out, and I said that before the show even started. Like, what's your expectations for the show? And that was kind of it. That I've always wanted to coach the Ultimate Fighter ever since I've been on it, and since I've been successful in the UFC. It was something I've wanted, a goal of mine to do. When I was told I was going to coach against Cody and Team Alpha Male, I didn't want to do it.
Right.
But like I said, that was the only way I was going to get my title fight, and I wasn't going to pass up the opportunity. But I'm glad I gutted it out and did it.
Where's training camp for you now? Because I know Colorado, you were there. There's the muscle farm thing that's no longer a thing. Were you in California now? Where are you for training camp?
I'm both. I'm still in Colorado. My foul has just got done today. I finished it out today, so we're going to move in this weekend. I'm still living out in Colorado, training with Duane out there. Elevation Fight Team still exists. So most of the farm was sponsoring the team. Yeah. They just cut the sponsorship, and so it's still Elevation Fight Team out there. I'm doing some training out there as well as cross training in Southern California and working with some new trainers down there. I got a new strength conditioning coach, Sam Calavita, out of the training lab, which the guy's been amazing. He's made some big gains with me, and I've been real impressed with it, as well as coming along and working with Felipe De La Monica, Gracie Baja, Mark Munoz at Kings MMA, and Daryl Christian, and so many guys that have been adding to my game down in Southern California. Kind of almost build my own little team down there.
It seems like it. Like training partners, who are some of the people, like notable fighters that you've been working with down in California?
Juan Archuleta, which was supposed to actually fight tomorrow, which I don't know if the fight's actually going to happen.
With Vince Murdoch, that's right.
Vince was 8 pounds overweight, so I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm actually waiting to hear about that.
Team Alpha Male guy too.
Yeah, came in 8 pounds overweight. It was ridiculous. And then Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico is one of the guys I've been training with. He's an animal. Unfortunately, his debut didn't go the way he wanted it to, but the kid's got a very bright future. Working with Raja, he's got a big fight coming up. John Tuck, he's a little heavier than I am, but working with RDA and some guys like that. Just getting some movement in. We got some smaller guys that are up and coming as well.
You talked about a lot of surprises for you on the Ultimate Fighter show. Was Danny Castillo kind of coming at you, and Justin Buchholz one of those?
I feel like that was the biggest surprise to me. Those are the guys I was the closest with at Alpha Male. We were friends, like real good friends. Danny actually came out and was living with me in Colorado before he got cut from the UFC, and we were boys, And so I always thought at least he'd have my back a little bit, or maybe not be involved with it as much. But yeah, that was the most surprising, is that I had some friends that kind of, when the cameras turned on, were more about building their names up than actually being a true friend.
Have you talked to any of them since?
I talked to him the night the show ended. We all went out that night. Kind of had a little heart-to-heart then, but no, I haven't spoken with him since.
Do you think that's the cameras, or do you think that's them actually, just trying to support their team, kind of them going after you?
A little bit of both, you know. I mean, I know it's a way to build his name because you know Buckles was real disrespectful to Duane too during the show, and there's no way I feel like he'd be like that in person, you know. And I think it was a way to try to build some drama between him and Duane and really hype up his own name as a coach and trying to feed off Duane as being Coach of the Year and trying to get him push him for himself. You know? He's really trying to hype up his own name, how he's this greatest coach, you know, and so the drama was going to hype their name up as well as this is their job now, you know. Their job is to be behind their team, and their team has to hate me now, I guess. So.
How's Duane dealing with all of this? Because he came across, you know, he was just, you know, just sitting there taking it. He doesn't seem like a confrontational guy. How's he dealing with the, you know, everything that happened on the show?
It's definitely something he doesn't want to deal with. You know, drama's not his thing. He's kind of one of those guys that he's 0 from 100. So you piss him off, he's probably gonna be a fist fight. So he kind of had to pull himself back a little bit. He did a real good job. I got a little nervous there when it started getting down with him. I thought things were going to get heated. I know I can control myself, but when it started hashing out on Duane, I thought it was going to get a little ugly.
Did you watch Uriah's acceptance speech?
I missed it actually, no, but I mean the guy definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, you know. And it was cool to see Joseph Benavidez was the one that gave the speech for it too. So.
Did you happen to see the UFC Legends panel?
No.
Boss Rutten gave Duane a lot of love and said, you know, he's one of the best coaches in the game right now, and the rest of the panel actually kind of agreed that he's doing great things. So.
Yeah, I mean he's a student of the game. You know, he is addicted to being a good coach, and not only just for fighters, like even just for if you go and watch his cardio kickboxing or just the everyday average Joseph coming in and working, like he's giving them so much attention. Like you can tell he loves what he does, and it goes a long ways when a fighter, I mean not only a fighter but also just someone coming off the streets gets that attention from him, you know.
You know, we got a question about the one of the pranks in the house, the snakes. Was that an original idea, or did they kind of set that up just for TV?
That was original. I wanted to do it from the beginning, but I kind of waited because I knew that if I would have started the pranks, it would have gone all season long, and I didn't want to have to look over my shoulder the entire time.
Where'd you borrow all the snakes from?
We just looked up a local snake wrangler, and
really?
They luckily had a bunch of snakes and brought them all in, and I actually had to carry some of them in there, and I'm really afraid of snakes. So it wasn't something I was really comfortable doing. I mean, it wrapped up around my arm, and I just waited for him to come off my arm. I didn't want to let go of it, you know.
The heart-to-heart that you had, does that mean that you guys are good now? How did it end up?
You know, I wouldn't say that. You know, it was just kind of I spoke my true feelings, and they kind of spoke theirs as well. You know, I wouldn't say that we're good or. It's tough to say, you know. I mean, alcohol was involved as well too, so everyone's able to talk when they start drinking. But
was Cody there?
No.
Okay, so it was with.
It was with just Danny and Justin.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just hanging out with the fighters. All go out and celebrate the night of the fight. You know, after the season's over, it was just us two late at night, just kind of hashing it out. You know, Buckle seemed a little more standoffish, but Danny was willing to kind of like speak his feelings with me. You know.
And I know that you were close to obviously the whole DJ thing, and it became this public drama.
Yeah.
Is there any part of you that understands where he's coming from when he was talking about like respect? Because you were there too, right? Not that long ago, you said that you felt like you were being looked over, passed over, and stuff. And on the mic, you said this thing is rigged if I don't get a title shot. And here's a guy who's saying like, I just want some respect. I want to be told what the plans are. Did you sympathize with him at all? If you took yourself out of the equation of trying to get the fight.
To an extent, but the fact is he's fighting Ray Borg. You know, so me getting leaped over was a way bigger leap over than me leaping over Ray Borg to fight Demetrious Johnson. You know, Cody was ranked number 8, and I was beating number 1 contenders. You know, Ray Borg's missed weight half his UFC career and has beaten two guys in the top 10. I don't really know like what his credentials are to get that title fight. You know, I feel like mine were a lot higher. Even though I haven't even fought at the weight class, like I said, I feel like it was a perfect time for me to jump into the weight class because it wasn't like I was cutting the line. Demetrious has ran through everyone. You know, Ray Borg, I don't feel like is a deserving contender in my eyes.
So let's say you fight Cody, you beat Cody, you become champion. Would you then consider going down to 125 and trying to do a champion versus champion fight, or are you done with that idea?
No, it's never done. You know, it's definitely something I'm interested in. You know, the one guy I don't want to jump in front of, which I think I've been very boisterous about this entire time, is Joseph Benavidez. I know he's got to come back. He's on doing a knee injury right now, and coming back from that, I'm sure he'll probably have to take a fight. Just obviously to get a title shot. So as long as I'm not jumping in front of Joseph, you know, I feel like he's been on a 6 or 7 fight win streak, fighting number 1 contenders, Henry Cejudo, and he would be the guy in my eyes that was deserving of the title shot, but he's injured.
Is there any talk of MSG for you and Cody in November?
Last I heard it was like talking to Shelby. Hopefully October. It was like maybe September at the earliest, but most likely October.
Okay.
But then I hear Cody talking in interviews that he's not going to be fighting until earliest as November, maybe December. So this whole year for me has kind of been in limbo, and it's kind of been a little frustrating. Coach Ultimate Fighter not fighting, maybe fighting DJ, not fighting DJ, hopefully fighting Cody again, and I don't know when. You know?
How long are you willing to wait? 'Cause you have to make money at some point, right? Like,
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is how I make my money.
Yeah.
But you know, I guess first and foremost, I think I want that belt. You know, I'm willing to wait for him.
Okay.
You know, that's a fight I'm willing to wait for. I don't know. You know, I can't wait forever though too. So you are right. I mean, I got to sit down and maybe have a little more serious conversation. I just heard an interview that Cody did. I think it was yesterday or the day before, but I heard he wouldn't fight till November, December, and I was hoping October. So it's something I definitely need to sit down and have a talk with the main man. You know, see what's going on.
Do you know how much? Do you know how much money they offered DJ?
No, I don't. No, he didn't really tell me because he told me it's more than he's ever seen.
What do you think, from your perspective, was the mistake that led to Pico losing, and did you have a conversation with him afterwards? Did you give him any advice?
He's been on vacation since the fight. He gets back on Monday. Gets back to training. You know, maybe I think maybe it was just too big of a rush to get that win. You know, all the lights, all the hype. His first fight ever in Madison Square Garden, kind of going out there and closing the distance, maybe a little bit too fast. You know, especially a veteran. Take your time, feel it out, get used to the cage. Use your feints. I know he's got to respect your wrestling, so take advantage of that. But no, I haven't had time to really sit down and talk with him yet. You know, it wasn't like I was able to be his coach this camp or nothing. I was just a training partner of his. We did a lot of sparring together, and the kid's an animal. So hopefully I get to do a little bit more of helping him out and getting ready for his next fight, because I know he's got a very bright future, and I'd love to do whatever I can to help him out.
And how do you divide your time? Because your home is in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
The King's MMA is in Southern California. So how for an actual fight camp, what are you going to do?
That's something I guess I've been trying to figure out. You know, that's why Duane was traveling to Southern California for me. We were doing my camp. My plan was to do my camp in Southern California for the Cody fight, and then when Cody pulled out the Demetrious fight, it was going to continue. The new strength and conditioning coach I started working with, Sam Calavita, has been someone that I highly respect, and someone that's done a lot of great things with my body and some of the gains that I've already made working under him. And so I've been trying to do whatever I can to be down there, as well as bring my team with me. So Duane's been willing enough to come down, you know, 3-4 days out of the week and come and train. So I've been kind of getting the same feel. But now that the fight's up in limbo, you know, go back to Colorado, train back there, kind of jump back and forth and feel what's right. You know, I think what's really pushed me to the next level is how many coaches I get involved in my career, and how many people that, like when I went up to TriStar and learned a lot from Ross. You know, I feel like I gained a lot from working out with his team and him as well. Traveling Kings MMA, Gracie Baja, traveling the country and learning from the best is what's going to push me to that next level, is what I believe.
Guys, we have time for one more.
TJ, good afternoon.
How's it going?
It's a bit of a curveball, this one. Obviously, you've done a bit of boxing for your improved striking.
Yeah.
How are you predicting Mayweather and McGregor on August the 26th? Who wins and why?
Oh, I'm predicting Mayweather's just too smart. He's too defensively smart for McGregor. You know, I don't think McGregor's got the cardio for him, and Mayweather's just gonna to point fight him and be smart about it. You know, and McGregor's a lot bigger than he is, but the distance is different. You know, I think Mayweather's just too smart.
But are you interested in it? You'll watch it?
I'll be interested in all the drama. You know, I mean, it's kind of a circus fight, but yeah, I mean, it's good for the sport, man. I mean, it brings a lot of attention. You know, he's bringing a lot of attention to the world of MMA, and hopefully bringing that money with it too. You know.
Thank you.
TJ, after the fight with Cody's over, are you hoping to revisit the heart-to-heart with those guys? And you think it'll be easier to settle that after the fight's done? Is that something you want to do again? Or
I kind of feel like the ball's in their court, really. You know, I mean, I haven't really done too much of trying to backlash and badmouth them for the most part. You know, I've kind of stayed as professional as I can with defending myself. You know, it's kind of like if they're going to stop attacking me. You know what I mean? That's why I think it's in their court. You know, I mean, I haven't really gone and looked for the rivalry. I haven't really gone to look to make enemies. You know, so I've kind of been put in that position. I'm not trying to play the victim, but that's just kind of the way that I see it.
But that's something that hopefully would happen.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I created some relationships that I thought I was going to have for the rest of my life. That kind of crazy that they are the way they are now. You know, I mean, some guys have crossed the line to where I won't ever look at them the same. But there's some connections I have on that team that I mean, I feel like it'd be nice to be able to squash this whole thing.